That button there, is it?
It's all just recording.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It says record now.
Just recording now.
I'm guessing you're all here for Ric Flair.
Yeah. What? Really?
What I want you to do...
Woo!
That's it, yeah. So on three, I want you to give the biggest woo, yeah? This is going to go on the page, 14,000 people, yeah? Silent three. 1, 2... Fantastic, thank you very much.
Woo!
See you in half hour.
Not even coming.
Thank you.
Rick is in the car, he's on his way. I hope you're going to give him a fabulous welcome once he enters our room this afternoon. First of his 7-night tour right across the UK, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to be in the very safe hands on stage as well of the man I'm about to introduce to you. He's going to get his first introduction of the day today. He's going to be conducting all the interviews a little bit later on, but he's going to just get you warmed up now ahead of our introduction to Rick at 4:30 today. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a very credible interviewer as well for the British Wrestling Council, who he also writes for as well. Still, he's the only person with an FM radio show dedicated purely to wrestling, and he's a commentator for Southside Wrestling as well. As he makes his way to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time today, would you please put your hands together and give a fabulous welcome to Rob Meltman.
Thank you very much. You're on his way.
In your boardroom, wherever you choose to put that. Also as well, the belts, that's up for auction. This fabulous picture here, the Flair Tour. I heard as well Rob mention about Hearts, Celtic, Rangers. We did get a couple of cheers. Just for throwing in a couple of wild cards as well. Matt, who was the man responsible for bringing Rick over to the UK, has thrown in a Rangers shirt up for grabs on his auction this evening, and also as well a Celtic football shirt as well. Rob's going to do his honours with that one. There we are, the Lisbon Lions, the team, the legends, the Lisbon Lions. And this is the Rangers shirt here, by the way. Two great items. Obviously Matt on the tours does a little bit of fundraising as well, you see, ladies and gentlemen. This is the team that won 9 in a row. The Rangers team that won 9 in a row. So two fabulous items there. And these items, totally exclusive to the tour as well. So you can bid on cash, card, however you want to pay for them, then you are able to do that. But we'll do our little auction a bit later on. Just kill it a bit of time. Food looks like it's all out the way. People who haven't got a food ticket, you are able to purchase food down the far side of the room. He is moments away. Scotland, honestly, do us a favour and give him an absolute fantastic welcome. Get your camera phones out when they're ready, everybody, for when he arrives. Phones out, please. Get those camera phones out. He's about to make his grand entrance, ladies and gentlemen. I want you sharing these on Rick's Twitter feed. I want you sharing them on Facebook. Let's show everyone right around the world, ladies and gentlemen, what a great night we're going to have right here in Scotland this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, very good evening and welcome to the limousine riding, jet flying, stealing, wheeling, dealing, sailing tour across the UK. It's going to be so great, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only 69, the real world champion.
I grew in the city. We have a lot in common.
In 1975, you were named Rookie of the Year by Pro Wrestling Illustrated. You just won the NWA Mid-Atlantic TV Championship. Were you at a point in your career where that belt was obviously a huge honour for you? Was there a point now, yes, I've made it, I'm happy with that? And what did it mean to be given the honour of that belt?
Oh, I didn't consider that big.
To that period, and you also won the 1992 Royal Rumble. You did the famous 60 minutes, which at the time was a Rumble record. You won the WWF Championship. The interesting thing for me was the promo that you cut after that with the belt. We saw a Ric Flair from WCW who wasn't the Ric Flair we know and love, to a man who'd just gone 60 minutes at the top of the mountain in the WWF, and he cut a promo, I'm sure you all know it, which ended with you just screaming, I love it, I love it, this belt makes me the best because this is the only belt in the world. How did it feel to get that off your chest?
Well, I was cutting that break to Jim.
Yeah, absolutely.
Made it feel great. I mean, it did. I mean, to think that I couldn't, I was battling just to have my own identity, that I'd spent, 15 years trying to put together, 15 years, and to have someone try to strip me of my identity and my pride and everything, to becoming the WWE champion, or WWE at that time, same thing, right? Being their champion, you can only imagine.
The beauty.
Boy. Did I get drunk that night?
The beauty of that is that when you went to the WWF, you went in as Ric Flair. There was no...
He's never changed me. He's never tried to change me. I'm convinced he's never tried to change anything about me. And I'm the only guy that's ever gone there. They haven't tweaked it a little bit.
Which is testament to the Ric Flair brand as it is.
Well, I think so, but I mean, let me just make it very clear to you that the brand that I built and the brand that I have, what really pushed it over the top were the last 7 years I had with the WWE. And I was 53 years old, right? I retired at 59 with Sean, so 52, whatever it was, 51, right? 7 years, of wrestling top guys in my 50s. Nobody gets that opportunity. Nobody. That's why I have to be wrestling with Sean, Hunter, Undertaker, Jericho, the list goes on. Just so many great names, and a lot of Christian, Edge, Foley, all these guys, to be in that class, right? And in my 50s, and to be able to go out of business like that. Did I have a great career and fun before that? Yes, but those last 7 years are why my brand is where it is today. It's just who it is.
It must have been great for your confidence. From going through WCW, where you've been very vocal about how your confidence went down, and they tried to break it down.
Idea.
To go into...
I had Sigourney Weaver disease.
Touching the balls.
Don't leave me. Christ, Kevin Sullivan had to take me home one time. Couldn't drive out of the driveway. That's anxiety, man. Ooh.
But from going to that to going to 2001, 2002 WWE, where you've got a generation of men and women that grew up watching you and wanted the opportunity to work with you, that must have been like a gold standard for you.
It was. I mean, I have no idea what it did for me. And I had, of course, when Vince called me and said, well, when I come up here, and I said, yeah, but I don't want to wrestle with you. Oh, you'll never have to wrestle. We're going to be the co-owner. I said, so you're telling me I never have to wrestle? He said, Rick, do you remember? You never have to wrestle. So we did a lot of fun stuff with that. And then all of a sudden, Steve Austin decided not to come to work one day. And I walked in Atlanta and he said, where's your bag? I said, to Vince. I said, why? Why? I told this story on my podcast. He said, because you're working tonight. I said, I thought I was the co-owner of the company. One of the board of directors meet over the weekend. He said, no, Austin's not coming. I said, I knew that. Who am I wrestling? He said, Lesnar. How much shit? Why don't you wrestle? joke was on me, man. Lesnar said, I'll be careful. I said, please. Jesus Christ. Who's going to wrestle him next and take 17 German suplexes? I was watching the scene at SummerSlam and they were going, 1, 2. I was sitting with a friend that said, shit, 17 German suplexes from a monster, good Lord. I saw Cena the next day in Las Vegas, man, he could hardly walk. I said, you're tough, kid. Nobody said you weren't. You're a great kid, but now I actually believe you're pretty tough. 17 German suplexes. Shit. Woo. Not cool. I saw Lesnar and said, that's why I'm retired. Don't even think about it. That's why I don't even want to manage anybody while you're around. They'll say, well, Flair will take the F5. Why not? We don't have to beat him. Flair at the ring. Flair will take it. Not a chance. No Germans for sure. Maybe the F5. If I get a couple of drinks with Matt over here, maybe, but not the Germans. When I saw him throw Seth Rollins out of the corner that time, and Seth said to him, I can flip the land on my feet, shit. Seth went across that ring like a dart. At SummerSlam, he landed on his feet, but I know at, what was the match? At WrestleMania, Seth landed on his feet when they did it, right? Or the next night, whenever that was. At SummerSlam, brother, you went across the ring like a dart, man. Or whatever that, the three-way match. Man, Brock is strong. Yeah.
Another memory that we all have of you is your time in Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to be in Evolution, didn't you? Go first. Comparing your Evolution time to your Four Horsemen time.
You can't.
No?
No. Different time.
What was it like, though, being the veteran in a faction, being the guy who was the older generation, the one to bring through the Batistas, the Randy Ortons in relationship with Triple H? Did you find that easy, or did you find that?
Oh, I found it great.
Yeah?
It wasn't about that. It's just saying that when the Horsemen were on, and there was social media was different, you know, and it's even different now since the Evolution. You can't do anything anymore. You can't. I mean, you can't do the stuff I used to do when we were the Horsemen.
Well, there's a wonderful story about when the Horsemen were in Canada, and there's a bunch of wrestling fans who wanted to follow the Horsemen, so they followed them to a shop. You guys bought a 12-pack of beer, and then noticed these boys following you, so you reversed your limo and chased them out. One of those Canadian boys was Chris Jericho. Did you know that story?
No.
Yeah, I found that story doing a bit of research. Apparently Chris Jericho's such a Horseman fan, and you guys just reversed your limo and scared the crap out of him.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that one, but I don't even consider winning a big part of Canada, sorry. I had to drive there, but I wasn't making any money. Yeah, I do remember that, yeah, Chris told me the story, but it wasn't that, it was just that you can't, you know, we had a lot of fun back then. I mean, now we're just, you know, you're monitored and I don't know whether it's better or not. You know, I mean, you never know whether it's what you're reading is the truth. I mean, how is it validated, right? And I'm talking about CNN or Fox News or whatever you guys have over here. How do you know it's real? There's so much shit out there now that you don't know what's going on. I mean, people ask me all the time, if you watch network news in the United States, you just want to play and kill yourself. You just don't want to get up the next day. You get so depressed watching what's going on in the world. Yet you come over to Scotland, giving this example for American, I couldn't be happier. You guys, for whatever it's worth, it's just the whole, I was just in Germany, beautiful place, but the people are just not as friendly as you guys are. Scotland's a great place. I mean, I have to find the whole UK, but everybody's happy, having a good time. I mean, in America right now, guys, it's tough. It's a lot going on, and people are just not getting along, and they're concerned for their safety and their children's well-being, and I mean, it's religion, it's politics, it's everything, and it's hard. Because it's the greatest country in the world. I wouldn't trade living there, but, you know, coming here, I mean, even my fiancée Wendy said that people are just phenomenal.
Well, you're right.
And no one's talking about anything that's depressing. You sit, yeah. No, but if you sit in a bar in the States, two things you don't talk about. One of them's politics, the other one's religion. Because you're going to get in a fight.
I think the reality is we all know the world's like that, but the fact that we have professional wrestling in our lives to take us away from all the politics, the religion, and again, that's the reason we're all here. Just giving us all these years of just giving us the pleasure and happiness to take us away from that. That's why we're all here, right?
I know my role. I've made a lot of people smile over the years. As The Rock would say, I know my role, jabroni.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's about time for us to open it up to the floor now. I know Paul Booth's going to go around with his roving microphone. If anyone's got any questions for Rick, you could...
By the way, after the seminar tonight, I'm doing marriage counseling on the side. So if you have any marital advice at all, I'll give you just one word: don't get married. Anybody riding that brink? Yeah, that's funny.
Rick,
Yes.
how important is Vince McMahon to the wrestling world, and how good is Daniel Bryan without his injuries?
Repeat that, man. You guys that have
How good is
you guys that have a few over here are hard to understand.
It says how important is Vince McMahon to the wrestling world, and how good is Daniel Bryan injury-free?
Well, I've never wrestled with Daniel Bryan, to answer your question, but I can tell you that he has the respect of all those guys. Woo! I mean, the guys love him. He's a real good performer. I've never wrestled him. I like him a lot personally, but I think it's only fair that everybody understands he got banged up in Ring of Honor long before he came to WWE. He had injuries, which I wasn't aware of. I didn't know he wrestled that long before, but he's a great guy. And number two, without Vince McMahon, there would be no WWE.
Okay, just remember, ladies and gentlemen, it's for platinum tables only, so we've got a guy here who's been giving me the eye all night.
Hi, Rick. Just wanted to ask you that I've seen a lot of your interviews, promos and what have you, and I've seen Mr. Perfect in the background with you before.
Who?
Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
Oh, Mr. Perfect, yeah.
And I've noticed that while you were doing your interview, Mr. Perfect's in the background and he seems to be laughing uncontrollably with some of just with your flamboyance and the way that you speak. And I know it's a bit of fun, but I feel as if you had a really good bond with Mr. Perfect off screen as well. So
Kurt? Yeah, good.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask how it was off screen.
I broke in wrestling his dad. He's from Minneapolis. So I've known Kurt forever. He was a great kid.
Okay, the guys that want to answer the auction, can you put your hands up? We're going to offer one of you guys a question. Where is it? Here he is. Loads of money. Cheers, pal.
Hi, Rick. On behalf of Scotland, first of all, I'd like to give you a big round of applause to say needless to say, we love you.
Thank you.
My question is, I've just become a father for the first time, so I'd like to ask. That's not the question. How do you deal with the stress having watch your kids in the ring, and that's it?
Oh gosh, that's a tough question. Well, I didn't worry about the boys. I think that the boys, I think that boys become men, and men make their own decisions, and if they want to do that, it's fine. My daughter, I never saw her being where she is, but Someone just asked her in Miami in 2012, Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis, who was the head of talent relations, why she wasn't wrestling, and she'd already got a degree in exercise physiology, was personal training, and making a real good living. And she said, I don't know. And so she walked over to me and said, what do you think? I said, I don't know. And you got wrestling, you know. And I don't think, I mean, I'm glad that she's happy, so I'm happy. But it's a hard, tough, insensitive business. I don't care how glamorous you guys think it is, wrestling's tough. It's tough on your personal life, it's tough on your physical health. It's grueling. These guys to this day, they're still working 300 days a year. You know what I mean? And they got to get up in the morning, they got to train. It's not like it was in the old days, you know. The girls, it's mandatory that they have their hair and makeup on all day long. I mean, it's a lot different than it was in the old days. But she's happy, and I couldn't be more happy for her.
Ladies and gentlemen, how well is Charlotte doing in NXT at the moment? There's some people that are classed as fans, there's some people classed as great fans. This guy over here, driven from like 44 hours or something, is it? 9 hours, to be here from the Outer Hebrides, and he'd like to ask a question. He spent £3,500 tonight.
From northern Scotland, I know this deal.
You've heard the story, we've been on about it all night, I'm sick of hearing about it. But he's got a question anyway, I'd like to ask him.
I must be the smallest world heavyweight champion of all time. This belt's huge. Great steel. Towers above me. But I think, I agree with your comment. Scotland's so lucky to have you tonight. This is amazing. I don't know anybody else in all sorts of walks of life that's fitted so much life into the life that you have lived. You know, it's incredible. Your story's incredible. Absolutely incredible. My question to you is, so we all saw what happened with Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble, and then going into WrestleMania, and even The Rock's Aaron was maybe just not quite enough, you know.
Yeah, you know, I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could find out, but you know, it's funny. Like I could find out tomorrow if when my daughter's going to be on Raw. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I don't. It's not my role. And even though sometimes it bothers me, and I think, why this isn't the way I like it, or the way I like it, or.
It's a real shame, right? And the question is, given what's happened with Roman Reigns, who do you think is next? Who's the next big star coming through? Given the caliber of NXT, which is amazing right now.
I don't think they have anybody at NXT right now of the caliber of Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns will be all right. You know, you have to understand in this business, it can change 5 minutes before you go to the ring. You know, I mean, it just can. And I don't know, you know, whether the build-up was what they wanted to do, and I think that there was issues behind the scenes, and you know, at the end of the day, I really enjoyed that match, and I thought Roman came out looking great in it. Seth Rollins is a phenomenal performer, and he's doing great. But I think Roman will be fine. I mean, the women love Roman Reigns. I mean, you know what I mean? And it's just the smart marks that are booing him once in a while. But I mean, look, if that is going to cause someone to fail, John Cena should never made it. Because nobody likes John in arenas. They boo him every night. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. But they pay to see him. So, yeah. Let's go with Cena. Cena sucks. I mean, it's pretty insensitive. And Stephanie McMahon doesn't help by walking out there saying, "How do you feel about everybody hating your guts, John?" She's the best heel in the last 10 years, man.
Hello. Right. Here we go. We've got a question here from a young man. Big fan?
Yeah. I'm
I'm a big fan of yours, Rick, and I've been watching some of your matches, and I really want to be a professional wrestler. Next month, I turn 16, and I can go to a wrestling school, and I was wondering, what tips or advice would you give in or on professional wrestling? And would you consider having a prodigy?
You're not going to like this answer, but I give this answer all the time in the United States. I don't like to see young kids go to wrestling schools because I don't know. First of all, I know nothing about English schools, but the United States there are hundreds of wrestlers that didn't make it in our business, and they take the kids' money, and they don't have anywhere to send them. And the facilities aren't safe, and the guys are doing stuff are not qualified or physically prepared or qualified in terms of technical skill to do. Does that make sense? And there's a reason why NXT is successful. They spend the money on the product. The facility is phenomenal. They have good trainers. They provide medical coverage. And if something were to happen to you, God bless and nothing does, your mom and dad could say, hey, he's in a good place, it happened for a reason. But going into some garage or some guy owns that's telling you he's going to get you a job at the WWE, it's nothing all over approval. You know, you need to graduate and then go to college and then, work out hard and then think about wrestling maybe at the age of 23. Because that's still an option, in my opinion.
We only take questions from platinum holders, but this guy has spent a ridiculous amount of money on a Celtic shirt. So we're going to let him ask you one question.
You're in the Four Horsemen Russian, so throughout your history, if you had to pick 3 people to be in a group, who would it be?
Do what now?
You're in the Four Horsemen. I'll translate. You're in the Four Horsemen. And Evolution. Alright. You was in Four Horsemen and Evolution. If you could pick 3 people to be in a faction with you, who'd they be and why?
Right now in the business?
Anybody from past and present.
Oh, I would never change. I would still take Arn, Tully, Barry Windham, and myself, and JJ.